Hello, it's your girl Emilight, and today in the studio, I'll be bringing to your knowledge some crucial information on the challenges of immigrants in Finland. I decided to make this video because I have been asked two pertinent questions. One, why did you decide to start a channel on this topic? And the second one is, what are the goals of Emilight channel? So I will answer this question by showing to you some news articles that have published some really serious findings about the challenges that immigrants go through in Finland. So permit me to share my screen with you. And then from there, we are going to answer this first question, why I started a channel. The topic of the article, as you can see, I hope my screen is clear enough for you to see. And I have read through these articles and I highlighted some important places that I will just go through vividly with you, just for you to see for yourself why I decided to start a channel on this topic. And take note that these newspapers are published by, these news articles are published by Yle News, Helsinki Times. Those are really authentic reports. You know, I'm not like discrediting other news houses, but I'm just saying these are local news houses that you should trust the information that they publish. Yeah. So there, let's begin with the first article. I'm not going to read everything. I'm just highlighting some of those very important parts of these studies. So the first report says 40% of foreign specialists face discrimination in Finnish workplaces. From the past interviews I have had in the studio, if you recall clearly, many of them mentioned the problem of discrimination, problem of language, problem of lack of recognition of our skills or our work experiences from our home country. So those were some of the problems they gave that have caused them to face unemployment or underemployment. So this survey is telling us just the same thing, that 40% of foreign specialists face discrimination in Finnish workplaces. So the area I highlighted to read to you is that around 2 out of 5 foreign skilled workers have experienced discrimination in a Finnish workplace, according to the results of a recent survey carried out by the non-profit group E2 Research. It continues to say a similar proportion of survey respondents said they were considering moving out of Finland in the near future. Okay, and I think lastly on this article, I will read, discrimination is also a significant factor, especially when it comes to finding a job. A large proportion of the 40% of respondents who said they had experienced discrimination at work noted that they had also faced discrimination in the job search before the interview, and almost half of them during the interview. So we face discrimination in many facets. Okay, there was one last portion here to read. Previous studies have found that an applicant may not be called to a job interview simply because they have a foreign name. I know that sounds strange, but that is true, because I'll read a report here that was carried out purposely to like confirm that accusation. So but for now, let's move on to the next article, which is still talking about discrimination of immigrants in Finland. Okay, the topic of this article says, Africans in Finland face highest amount of discrimination in EU. Yeah, so here it says, the report entitled Being Black in the EU surveyed 6,000 people of African descent across 12 European countries, revealing that the scale of discrimination is much higher than originally thought. One of the most significant revelations is that Finland, despite its reputation for tolerance and progressiveness, is by far the worst performer. A full 14% of respondents in Finland have reported experiencing racially motivated violence in the past 5 years. compared to less than 2% in Portugal, the best performer on the list. Okay, it goes further to say that 63% of Black people in Finland also report facing some form of racial harassment compared to just 20% in the United Kingdom. Yeah, and again, it says parents in Finland with Black children also reported the highest levels of racial discrimination in primary education, with a full 45% of respondents facing incidents of racism in schools. And lastly, I will read that people of African descent who hold a degree are also twice as likely to be working in low-skilled, low-paid employment as their white counterparts. Let's continue with two other articles. This other article says, unbroken, depressed, foreigners struggle to find work in Finland. Immigrants job hunting in Finland say they face a language barrier as well as discrimination with respect to pay and contract. Okay, now another new parameter is coming up. Language barrier, yes. My past interviewees have mentioned language barrier. In fact, all of them have mentioned language barrier as a problem, as a major obstacle to gaining employment in Finland. And this is just a confirmation on this news article that language barrier is a major problem for immigrants in addition to the racial discrimination. So let's move to the next article. This other one says, it's a union report. It says, migrants suffer lower pay, prejudice, discrimination in Finland. Discrimination coming up again. Okay, it says a report on a Thursday says that foreigners in Finland's labor market face prejudice, unnecessary language requirements, discrimination, lack of recognition of their qualifications, and lower pay than their Finnish counterparts. In fact, those problems have increased. In addition to racial discrimination and language barriers, we can now see that lack of recognition of qualifications is a problem with immigrants in Finland. Finland does not recognize our qualifications. Finland does not recognize our experience as well, as you will see in the further paragraphs. And also, what did they say? We also suffer low pay than our Finnish counterparts. Let me bring it to your knowledge that these news articles are very recent articles. As you can see here, Early News, 24th of September 2021. So I made sure all of these articles are recent. So I will continue with this. Many of the disadvantages they face derive directly from discrimination and prejudice in recruitment practices and hiring on the part of employers, the report stated. Tech launched the study earlier this year in an attempt to discover the reasons behind the relatively high unemployment rate among people of foreign background. In June this year, 27.5% of immigrants living permanently in Finland were unemployed, compared to a total unemployment rate of just 7.1% in July. Okay, and it goes further to say the report found that some of the reasons behind the high unemployment rate for people with immigrant backgrounds, especially in the technology sector, included a requirement among employers for fluent Finnish language skills, a lack of recognition of foreign skills and qualifications, and Finnish bureaucracy. Okay, but let's keep moving. Let's keep moving forward. Yes. This other article says, job hunters switch to Finnish-sounding names to avoid discrimination. So, because we are not offered jobs due to racial discrimination, lack of recognition of our foreign skills and qualifications and work experience, and a lack of Finnish language skills, job seekers, like immigrant job seekers, have resolved to changing their names, switching their surnames to bear Finnish names so that they can have employment. And this sounds quite funny, but it's true. It says that people of foreign background who are struggling to find employment in Finland should change their name to a Finnish sounding name. That's the advice of Ilya Timonen, a Russian immigrant who did exactly that. So he is saying this because he did that and he succeeded. I will not read the whole article to you, but I will just tell you, he had a foreign name and he applied to many companies, but they turned down his application. They didn't even invite him for interview. But when he changed his name officially to bear a Finnish name, Ilya Timonen, he was invited to interviews, and he applied to those same companies who had rejected him when he had a foreign name. And these companies invited him for interview, and one of them hired him till date. He is still working with them. So because of these accusations, in fact, it's an accusation that has been going around and many people have heard about it. So this sociology researcher from the University of Helsinki decided to launch a research to confirm this accusation. So it says, sociology researcher Aklak Ahmad sent out some 5,000 fake job applications under Finnish and foreign names as part of a scaled experiment in 2016 and 2017. The objective of the study was to find out if a candidate's name affected whether they were invited to an interview. The results were startling. I will just move on to read the results to you because we don't have much time. The result says, applicants with Finnish names received by far the most invitations to interview, with 390 interviews from 1,000 applications. So he sent 1,000 applications under Finnish names, and under foreign names, he sent 1,000 applications each. Yeah. So, okay, Finnish names got 390 invitations for interview. English applicants received 269 interview invitations, while Russian applicants received 228, Iraqi applicants received 134 and 99 for Somali applicants. And let me tell you that all these applicants had equal opportunities for employment, but you have seen for yourself what happened, what was the result. So that is the trick that people have resolved to doing in order to gain employment. So change your name to a Finnish name. How funny that sounds. All right, let's move forward. Okay, it says, why does Finland seek talent from abroad but neglect highly skilled foreigners in the country? Yes, I've read in many newspapers that Finland has resorted to attracting more international talent into the country, either through their higher education institutions or by direct hiring of workers from abroad. And this text is asking Finland, and I will read just exactly what they said here. In this text, we challenge Finland's urge to attract international talent while neglecting existing international talent in the country. We argue that these policies ignore the highly educated foreigners and migrants whose talent is wasted in underemployment and unemployment. In 2020, Finland launched the 90-day Fin program, upping its game in the high-stake global skill and talent attraction competition. And it also says the 90-day Fin initiative is a part of the Finnish government's Talent Boost program, which aims to attract and retain international talent and to meet the country's apparent skill and labor demand. The Talent Boost Cooking Finland 2.0 states that since sufficient skilled labor is not available in Finland to cover the demand, international talent is a needed solution. This is kind of very contradictory to me, because Finland already has a pool of international talent existing in Finland, but they are not making use of this talent. There are thousands of international graduates who have qualifications, who have certificates in their pocket. They have work experience from their country, but Finland has not employed them. They are roaming the streets, moving from one cleaning job to the other, from one care job to the other, as if that is what they studied in the universities. But Finland, instead of concentrating to solve this problem, this already existing problem, they are busy designing programs to attract more international students or more international workers. How contradictory that is. What are you doing with this already existing international talent in the country? I join my voice with these researchers to ask this question. What about those who are already existing in Finland, who are highly talented, highly educated by you, highly qualified? You don't give the jobs to them because you say they don't speak the Finnish language. They don't have experience working in Finland. In fact, let me ask you, how would they have the Finnish language skills when you didn't provide to them the opportunity to learn the Finnish language while they were schooling? If I've talked with many people, they went through the university studies without the opportunity to learn Finnish language. Some few universities offer that opportunity to their students, but they end at the level of A 1.2. But the requirement to work in Finland is C. It's a C1 level, and Finland does not. The universities don't provide that to international students. So that is why when they graduate from these universities, they become unemployed or underemployed in C-square jobs, cleaning and caring. So Finland needs to tackle this problem before going out to look for more, except they enjoy bringing people here and leaving them unemployed and increasing their unemployment rate. But that is not going to help Finland, because we have read in the news everywhere that in the nearest future, in fact, presently and in the nearest future, there is also going to be a very huge labor shortage, and Finland needs international workers. Finland needs international talent to fill this gap. But what I'm surprised is that they are not employing us. They are not employing immigrants. I just want to read the last article, which says, more dialogue and research on the employment of academic migrants is needed. That is very true. There are so many international graduates, well qualified, well educated, well talented, well skilled, that are doing cleaning jobs, that are doing food delivery, that are doing construction work. Why? Because international talent, international graduates don't have a place in the integration services. Putting all of these things together, I decided to start this channel so that we can speak, we can join heads to see how these problems can be solved. So that will take me to answering the second part of this. So that will take me to answering the second question. What are the goals of Emilight channel? Emilight channel has just one main goal, and I'm going to tell you that one main goal by reading a comment that was made by a Finnish person. Under this comment, under this article, a Finnish person commented, and it says, many good studies show racism in Finland. Too few give us any solutions on how to tackle the problem. Thank you for that comment. And that answers the question of what are the goals of Emilight channel. Emilight channel has just one main goal. The goal is to join forces, to join ideas, to join my voice with those who are seeking solutions to the problems of immigrants in Finland, to join them to see how we can tackle this problem and overcome it. That is why we have this very important part in our shows: recommendation, suggestions, opinions. So we don't only come here to state these problems and go away. We don't only come here, we are not coming here to criticize. We are coming here to seek a solution to these problems. So that is the goal of Emilight channel. And I appreciate all those who have made a stop at the studio to share their experiences. I say thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. We have learned, and we hope that there are going to be solutions to these problems. And also, I'm urging every other person to please make a stop at our studio to share your experiences. It will go a long way to help either the immigrants or the government in overcoming this challenge. We love Finland. We appreciate what they have been doing, but that is why we are here seeking for solutions to solve this problem, so that we can together make Finland a more multicultural and more multinational economy where everyone can thrive happily. So I thank you for watching this video till the end, and I say stick with me on this course, and together we are going to make the change. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and also remember to share, like, and comment on our videos. We like to hear your own suggestions, your own ideas on the topics we share. Okay, thank you, and see you in the next video.